So now it's up and running again, hopefully. Live stream will be starting in like 10 seconds. We'll wait and see. Oh, there it is. So I've got my project running. I'm going to close this one here, and I'm going to go into my construct 2. So far right now we have background, collectible, enemy rotate, enemy sign horizontal, enemy sign vertical, and player. We have a background layer with the background locked on it. Everything else is on the player layer. We're going to go to the event sheet, and we're going to add some events. The first event we're going to add is system, every tick. And on every tick, we're going to have the enemy rotate. And we're going to go and rotate. We'll go with clockwise for this one, and we'll go 1 degree. Okay? So we have that one here. We can look and see what that will do now. Is enemy rotate, you can see, is starting to move around on the screen. Okay? So those ones will start spawning up like that. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add, well, we have to add touch from the layout. So let's go back to the layout, add the touch object. That's our input method. So we're going to insert the touch method, and then our event we're going to add is going to be for the touch. It's going to be is in touch. So let's find is in touch. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set the player's position to touch.x and touch.y. So not the collectible, but the player. Set position is what I'm looking for. So set position is going to be touch.x for x and touch.y for y. And I'm going to say done. And so now what should happen here is when I click around, now my player should be able to move around, and I should be bound to layout, so I can't leave the layout, and it follows around. So for creation purposes, we want to have these 3 enemies off the screen for right now. So I'm going to select all of them, and I'm just going to move them out of the way. I'm going to move the collectible out of the way too. So the only thing that starts off on the screen is the actual player. One of the things that we're going to do, though, to try and make things easier to code is we're going to use another family. And that family that we're going to get to is we're going to put enemy, rotate, horizontal, and vertical into that family. So I'm going to go back to the Projects tab. I'm going to go to Families. I'm going to right-click. I'm going to choose Add Family. And I'm going to add these 3 sprites in here. So to select more than one at a time, I'm holding down Control and left-clicking. Then I'm clicking Add. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to get Family 1. And I'm just going to rename this Enemies. OK. So now I have a family filled with enemies. And those are in there. As we're working through, we're going to need a variable score. So I'm going to press V to add a variable. It brings up the new global variable menu. I'm going to call this score, plain and simple. Score is going to start off at 0. And we're going to add an event that if the player overlaps the collectible, add 1 to the score. So we're going to add event for the player is overlapping another object. What object? The collectible. Then the action we're going to add, we got like 2 minutes left. The action we're going to add here is system, add 2, and score, we're going to add 1 to it. So now, I should have moved this off the layout. Well, I'm not going to know for the score because I don't have it up there yet. But now if I overlap on the player, I can pick up and add 1 to the value of the score. Let's see. I think we can add this next thing in before the bell rings. We've got 2 minutes. No, 3 minutes. I'm going to add this one last thing in. No, there's too many things to set in there. I'm going to say we're going to stop for right now. So we're going to go